In this video, I'm going to talk about how to find your creative calling. I have no idea where I'm going. Hopefully the elevator's this way. Let's see if it is. There it is. We're gonna make it. So the key to this is that your creative calling, just so you know, isn't something that you can decide, isn't something that you can make up, it's something that's given to you. Okay, the reason why this is such an important thing that I think we need to talk about is because a while ago I actually put out a poll on Instagram stories, and the poll was asking, hey, do you feel like you are fulfilling your creative calling in life? And an overwhelming amount of people said no. In fact, almost 80 people said no. There were about 10 people that said yes, but they were Brazilian, and I don't think they understood what the question was in English. So they said yes. But for the people that said no, what I ended up doing was I ended up direct messaging every single one of those people and asking them what was the reason why they felt like they weren't fulfilling this creative calling in life. And what was interesting was I took all of those answers and I created a little chart and discovered that over 50% of the people who said that they didn't feel like they were fulfilling their creative calling in life was because they felt directionless, or meaning they didn't know what their creative calling was. Now, I feel like what our culture tries to tell us is that you can create your own creative calling, that you can make decisions about where you want to go, you can build your own destiny and things like that. But I want to lovingly rebuke that idea and teach you guys what it really means to find your creative calling and to fulfill it. So check this out. Okay, so this is important. Look at what this says in 1 Chronicles 29, verse 11. It says, "Yours, O Lord, is the greatness, the power, the glory, the victory, and the majesty. Everything in the heavens and on earth is yours, O Lord, and this is your kingdom. We adore you as the one who is over all things." Look, it's in pink. That's the truth right there. So what that means is everything that we have, every gift that we have, every piece of resource, every idea that we have, that wasn't our idea in the first place. We were given these things as a stewardship from the Lord because He wants us to maximize them for His glory. So when it comes to creative calling, it's not about us creating our own calling, it's about us surrendering our calling to Him and allowing Him to direct our lives. So what does that look like practically? Well, I'm gonna show you in a second. So practically speaking, there's 3 steps that you need to take in order for you to find your creative calling and to actually walk it out. And the first step is you need to take inventory of what was given to you. I mean, every piece of equipment, every relationship that you have, that's like a networking opportunity, someone to mentor you, someone for you to mentor. Hello, that might be part of your calling too, is to give away what was given to you. And then the third thing is every skill and every talent, every gift. And I'll tell you this, a lot of the time we can fall into the trap of thinking it's humble to say, well, I don't have any gifts, I don't have any skills, I don't have any special abilities. But the reality is the word says that God has given gifts to all of His children to use to glorify Him and to benefit other people. So for us to say that we don't have those gifts is actually arrogant. It's not humble at all, it's prideful, because what we're saying is that's not true. And for us to say that's not true is to call Him a liar, which makes us the bad guy. So what I would encourage you with is to simply humble yourself before the Word and say, I have been given these gifts, I have been given these skills, and I'm going to acknowledge the one who gave them to me because He is kind to give them to me. But then the second thing is not just acknowledge that you have these gifts, but to ask for direction with them, to simply pray and to say, Lord, what do you want to do with these things? You gave me this ability to speak, you gave me this ability to write, you gave me this ability to create, to make music, to make films. How do you want to use these gifts? Rather than just assuming that we can use them however we want to use them, or even worse, looking to the world and asking the world how we should use our gifts. God intended for us to use our gifts for His glory, to be a part of His production in life. And so prayer is the second thing, but the third, this is the most important thing, because a lot of us get stuck on number 2. We can pray and pray and pray and we can get direction, but if we don't move on that direction, if we don't take a step with it, it's not going to go anywhere. So my challenge to you is to pray and ask God for what's the first step that He wants you to take this week with your creative calling, with what He's given you, And remembering it's from a place of, not a place of arrogance, it's from a place of confidence, but also humility under his name and under his word, and saying, God, you've given this to me, and you're gonna take an account at the end of my life for how I steward these gifts. I wanna honor you with them. Show me the first step that you want me to take this week, whether it's a photo that you're taking, whether it's calling somebody and asking if they can teach you something. Maybe it's reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, I wanna teach you what I've been taught, so that you're giving it away to the next generation. Whatever it looks like, find that first step and walk in it. And I'll tell you what, here's what's really cool about the creative calling, is that it's not a destination, it's a journey. So what it requires for us is to take that first step and to take the next step and the next step and to continue on that journey and on that process. It's not about arrival, but I'll tell you what, when we're walking in alignment with that calling and we're being obedient to it, you are living in it. You are living the dream. I'm living in that right now. And so I really believe that that's for you too. God's given you this creative calling. He's given you these gifts, and he wants you to use them for his glory, for the benefit of others, but also for your joy. He wants you to find this thing. So acknowledge what he's given you, pray about how the first step of what he wants you to do with it, and then take that step this week. Come on, somebody.